From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm John Kennedy. Participants in the federal inquiry on foreign interference are calling on Ottawa to use the tools it has to take bolder action against foreign meddling. The Commission of Inquiry heard closing submissions from Council for Political Parties, diaspora groups, and the federal government. The closing submissions saw trace amounts of partisan finger-pointing, as well as earnest policy recommendations, suggesting the federal government make effective use of legal tools, close loopholes, and foster a better public education of foreign interference. Commissioner Mary-Josie Hogue is expected to submit her final report on the matter at the end of the year. New Brunswick Liberal MP Wayne Long says he's disappointed with Prime Minister Justin Trudeau for not taking more time to think over the request to step down from members of his caucus. Long is one of the MPs who publicly called for Trudeau to step down as Liberal leader. Trudeau announced this morning that he doesn't plan on going anywhere, intending to lead the party into the next election. Long says the Liberals are taking the path that mirrors Ontario's Liberals, who haven't yet recovered from the 2018 provincial election. Kathleen Wynne's Ontario Liberals lost official party status and recorded the worst result in the party's 161-year history. The federal government's offer to match donations for humanitarian needs in Lebanon is more than $1 million behind its goal with 10 days to go. The federal Liberals pledged to double each dollar raised by the humanitarian coalition, up to $3 million. The coalition head Richard Morgan is concerned a focus on the escalating war instead of the suffering it's causing has led to a slow trickle of donations.
It's worrisome, to be honest. It's, for example, at a much smaller pace compared to how Canadians rallied in 2020 after the blast in the port of Beirut. So this is a much slower pace of response. Part of it is the challenge, I think, of the media coverage. There's been such a focus on the geopolitics and the acts of war.
Israel has been striking apartment blocks and locations near hospitals in Lebanon that it says are targets of Hezbollah assets, in an aim to try and stop the militant group from firing rockets into Israel. The Greater Vancouver Zoo says Jenga the giraffe has died far too soon. The zoo says the 8-year-old male was found peacefully resting in his barn stall moments after having a meal. While the zoo is waiting for the results of a necropsy, Director of Animal Care Manita Prasad says the other giraffes at the zoo continue to display normal, healthy behavior. Giraffes can live roughly 25 years in the wild and even longer in captivity. The U.S. federal government is planning to offer an apology to America's indigenous population for the legacy of tragic residential schools. U.S. President Joe Biden is set to deliver the historic apology in person tomorrow at the Gila River Indian Community in Arizona.
I'm heading to do something that should have been done a long time ago.
The last of the government-funded schools closed in 1969. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, a couple of Canadian teams enjoying fast starts to the NHL season are in action tonight. The Winnipeg Jets have soared out of the gate and look to improve to a 7-0 when they visit the Seattle Kraken tonight. In Calgary, the Flames bring a 5-0-1 record into their game against visiting Carolina. Toronto's Joseph Woll gets the start in goal when the Maple Leafs welcome the St. Louis Blues in NHL action. Woll is yet to play this season because of a groinal injury. Anthony Stolarz has been solid in Woll's absence, posting 3 wins and a 1.83 goal against average in 5 appearances. Toronto point guard Emmanuel Quickley is listed as questionable for the Raptors game tomorrow against the visiting Philadelphia 76ers with a pelvic contusion. Quickley left Toronto's 136-106 season-opening loss to Cleveland last night when he fell hard on his tailbone, contesting a rebound in the second quarter. Week 8 of the NFL season kicks off tonight in Los Angeles as the Rams get set to host the Minnesota Vikings. From the Canadian Press, I'm John Kennedy.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.